Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Louis with Christ-Like Cinema. So today it's going to be a little different. I want to share a story of a good friend of mine who recently finished a triathlon along with his father and his cousin. And funny enough, I was going to film this at a trail nearby, but then I stopped here. I've never stopped here before. I've passed by it a couple times, and one of the things that today's story is going to cover is endurance and keeping in the faith. So I stop here, and the first thing I see when I hit this wall is this. I don't know if you can see that. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. The friend I'm speaking about is Kyle, and I'm going to share his story here momentarily. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I know you guys will enjoy it, but take it in. It is a first person testimony of how the Holy Spirit, the Father and the Son, maintained this man's endurance physically and spiritually. I hope it provides motivation and inspiration for you to not only get out and conduct some sort of superhuman feat with the Spirit, but I hope it inspires you to even, I don't know, just get a Bible and read. This man's testimony is very deep, it's very personal, and it doesn't get much better than this. So I'll play his story here now. God bless you guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.
I'd like to think I've always had the ability to persevere and endure things given my time in service. But there was nothing unmatched to the feeling I had during this last race where I spoke with the Holy Spirit first and Jesus, and when I needed a big favor, I would speak to God. And just having that communication with him on the course last week, the 28th here in Augusta, it was really surreal. I trained with my faith. Big believer in Philippians chapter 4 verse 13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I definitely trained and spoke with mostly the Holy Spirit within me during my train up for this race. But it took a lot of endurance over the last year in spiritual endurance, physical endurance, and mental endurance, and it kind of all culminated. I give a little backstory. My father and I signed up for the Augusta 70.3 triathlon here. I'm currently living in Augusta, and we signed up for it last year, and he came down, and if you followed any news last year, Hurricane Helene came through and absolutely devastated Augusta and the surrounding area, and it canceled the race for my dad and I, and it was something that we were looking forward to for a few months before then, which we felt guilty for even feeling that type of that feeling that we had. But as we looked back on this whole year and some change of waiting for this race, it was about 14 months of waiting for this race to happen, and we finally get to the starting line. And when it was time to part ways, we all looked at it as my dad, myself, and my cousin. We all parted ways, but we all knew we were good. We had trained to that point. We had just heard the preacher say her prayer, and we felt strengthened by the Holy Spirit. And that took us our 3 different directions because we started at 3 different times. But that race was ran as one with my father, my cousin, and I, and then also we were united through Christ. It was pretty incredible. And as I was racing, I endured some tribulations. I cramped during my bike. I asked the Lord for wisdom on reach into my tired mind and tell me how I can get out of this cramp and try, and it did work for a short period of time. And I as soon as I saw my family, it reignited something else within me, which was amazing. And I was able to see them again and again and again, and every time I saw them, it didn't matter the pain I was going through. I had a big smile on my face and let them know I was doing all right, even though deep down I was going through a little struggle. But on the final race course, the final leg of the race is the run portion of the Ironman. My legs absolutely seized up, but I said a prayer, and I can't remember verbatim what I said, but it was essentially, Lord, just help me get through this. I just need to finish this thing and help me get through this. And I bent down, I stretched, I stood back up, I started walking a little bit, and they did not seize up on me. And I began running, and I ran the rest of that race. And I was, checking in on other people, and I was praying that the Lord would put me in positions to help other people. And, when I would say things to passerbys and people I was passing, it was, it looked as if I lifted their spirit, and that was all I was hoping for. And, so it's pretty incredible. We actually passed a point during the race where they were playing, not hymnal, but they were playing more contemporary music, for Christian music, and it was invigorating. It was really good to hear that. And so I look back at this race, and I definitely thank God, and I thank the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ to get me through it. It was not an easy one. I finished in a good time. My goal time was a little faster than what I wanted, or what I ended up with, but I think I did exactly what 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7. I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I kept the faith. I think that was how I would end this. So